Hi, Virgo. How are you handling the Mercury retrograde? I know it's weird. It's been weird for me. Oh, hopefully you are still feeling productive. Got a couple cards, well, 4 cards that came out. We got the 8 of Swords, the World reversed, Strength, and the 5 of Cups. This one I saw first. I know you can't see where this is going. Don't try. Don't try to see where this is going. The only thing you really need to focus on right now are the things that are seemingly holding you back. Swords are our thoughts. That's it, plain and simple. The things we think, the things that we believe. They represent our fears, fundamentally our fears. Because I think any kind of negative emotion, almost any kind of negative emotion, can be traced back to fear. And I think you've come in contact with a lot of what those were or are the past couple months. I think those were shown to you, and now I think you're very aware of them. You see them and you see how they are holding you back. And you also see that they are illusions. The swords are not really keeping you trapped. In a way, I even kind of look at this card and I'm like, she could just walk straight forward. Like the barricade isn't even real, you know? She just enjoys standing in line with them because that's where she feels safe. And I said this in another sign, there's comfort here, but comfort is our coffin. Life is meant to be ever growing, ever changing at all times. And this often represents a fear of change. And I know you're good at change. You're a mutable sign. You're one of the most adaptable in the zodiac. That's your MO. So when a Virgo or any mutable sign becomes a little bit afraid of making major changes, it's a little, it's something to pay attention to. I told you the World reverse comes out. I'm wondering if you are staring this sort of new era in the face, and there's a part of you that is not liking the unknown quality of that. The unknown of what comes next, the unknown of letting go. And for those of you who have worked through a lot of that stuff on your own, and you've worked through a lot of your fears, and you're working on your vibration and your consciousness level and your awareness, and you're working on making a contribution to humanity and all those great things, the question is there still something holding you back? Are you truly free? Because if you're having a difficult time attracting the things that you really want, like a romantic partner, like money, like that new job, sometimes you just have to look within and be like, okay, well, what's really going on here? What is it? What is really going on up here that I need to address? When strength comes out, it signifies courage. Courage is something that we do in spite of having fear. You can observe the fear the way the woman is separated from the lion, right? The fear is the lion. The awareness, the consciousness, the higher self is the woman. And I think the lion is what's keeping you from stepping through this new portal. Strength is a wonderful card to get, but it does mean that you have to exert strength. It does mean that you have to have courage, and that takes effort. That takes conscious awareness to do that. And to say, okay, well, this is something that I want, and this is an illusion that I built in my mind, and I need to work through it, and I need to blast through it. When the 5 of Cups comes out, it suggests that there is a longing for the past. There is a longing for something that happened, or there is still a sadness. This is why the World is coming out reversed. There is something in this current chapter that you're still thinking about. Your heart still belongs to something in the past. This is not a card of someone who is living in the moment. Okay, and I know I think that's a hard thing for Virgo to do. Once they get a hang of it, right, because of the technical skill of Virgo, yes, you can do that. But it's the matter of getting to that point. Getting to the point of understanding what it means to live in the moment. Understanding how you can do that at any moment. Say, okay, live in the moment, and to be in that moment. This is someone that knows how to do that, because the lion represents the external circumstances. You see? The lion is our ego as well. It represents our base forces, our base programming. It represents all the things that are causing these swords to exist. Where did all these fears come from? Past relationships, our childhoods, bad experiences, weird things that happen to us throughout our life. One by one, all those experiences put up these walls. And sometimes we even get sad about leaving that comfort zone too, because really what you're doing is shedding your current self. And that can be a really hard thing for a lot of people. But this Venus retrograde, she called us out on a lot of stuff. And she's going back again through Scorpio, and that's a very still real and authentic, placement or transit. So, she's still going to work, right? She's still doing her thing. Card of Virgo upside down. Are you getting a little impatient? Are you impatient with yourself? Or are you maybe even at a standstill instead? Feeling stagnant, feeling held back, feeling incapable or insecure or whatever else it is. There may be this thing that's going on in your mind that says, I'm not ready, I'm not ready, I'm not ready. But I very clearly see that you are in fact ready, and that I'm not ready is simply one of these swords. And it is time for Virgo to take their life to the next level in all areas. Family, money, romance, spirituality, contribution, all those things. It's time for Virgo to take it up to the next level. You will see the reward. There's no doubt in my mind. And I'm wondering if that's what you're afraid of, since this is kind of a money card turned upside down. Are you afraid that you won't get the reward? See, it's important for you to have faith in the laws of the universe, the way that you have faith in gravity. I know that you know that if you misstep on a ladder, that you will fall down. I know you know that. But somehow we need to be just as comfortable with the idea that if we emit some kind of a thought or some kind of emotion, that is what we will get in return. It is that level of faith that we need to exhibit. Because when we are in a place of which we're manifesting all day, every single day, whether we like it or not, that's what we're doing. And when we're doing it unconsciously, we can get ourselves into trouble. So when you're here and you manifest something from this space, you're going to get stuff that confirms that you're not ready. Okay, but it's not true. Let's see what else comes out. We'll clarify the Eight of Swords, World reversed, Five of Cups, and the Knight in reverse in the comprehensive. Five of Coins. What did I say? You're afraid of not getting something in return. Are you afraid of your financial situation? Are you afraid of being rejected? Afraid of being isolated? Everything in this reading is revolving around some hang-up that you've got. And the sooner you address it, the sooner all this just dissolves. Just completely dissolves, completely dissipates, and is no longer even a thing in your life. If you've been working on this stuff, that's amazing. Please keep in mind, Mars in Pisces can be weird. Mars in Pisces, you can sometimes we can psych ourselves out with that kind of stuff too. And we can say all these things that I've been working for now all of a sudden it doesn't matter. Keep your eye on the ball. Keep your eye on the end game. All right. You don't need to be doing this to yourself. And if anyone tries to do it to you, you certainly don't need that in your life either. I'm not really getting the energy of another person quite yet. So far, it's all just you. So if this is kind of where you're at, feeling in the word that's really coming to my mind is inadequate. Why is that the word that's coming to my mind? I don't know. Feeling inadequate, feeling depleted, feeling like your resources have been drained. I know Virgo has been working like crazy. I know how much time and effort you've been putting in to your projects and the people that you love. Like it's full on 100%. I know you've been feeling that drive. And now Mars comes in to kind of a little bit of a, I like to think, Pisces is kind of a lazy sign, It's kind of the napping, sleepy, dreamy, dreamland kind of sign. And I don't want to see all that hard work just get thrown out the window simply because you're not aware and you're at the mercy of the planets, right? You can still keep that drive going. Your structure is going to do you a lot of favors there. Two of Coins reversed. It's time for you to drop the balls on the things that don't matter, right? This is about simplification or minimalization. Only keeping the things that matter. Somehow, as we begin to simplify our life, these start to dissolve as well. A lot of times these come from work overload, trying to do too many things all at once. When we minimize and when we say, okay, this is not important, not important, not important, that's important, I'll keep that, not important, not important. When we kind of go through that process, not only do we feel better, not only do we feel lighter, but we're also going to have like, okay, well now I'm not going to fail. Now I'm not going to have that fear of failure either. I'm just going to do what I want to do. I watched this really inspiring video by that famous guru. Oh my God, what's his name? Sadhguru, I think is his name. That's what they call him, Sadhguru. And he talked about time and death, which we all know is like a thing, right? In spirituality, death is a very finite point in time. And he says, if you knew you were going to die tomorrow, which there's a possibility that you could, what really would you spend your time doing? And over time, if you ask yourself that every single day, over time, you are going to reduce the things you do by like 85%, and only really do the things that you actually want to do. And then you're going to start feeling that joy that you have in life, or that everyone always kind of seems to talk about, right? And I feel like you're really connecting with that and you're really getting on board with that idea. And you're like, you know what? I only really want to do the stuff that makes me happy. I am tired of doing all the stuff that I don't care about anymore and just wiping the slate clean. That's amazing. That's a really empowering place to be. Again, strength. It does take strength and it does take courage to do that. You have to sort of alleviate that caring of what other people think of you. And that's a hard thing to do. 6 of Cups. 3 of Swords. Interesting that all 3 of these cards are coming out in a row here, or like a column, and I'll show you in the comprehensive. We'll lay them all out. I'll put the camera down at the end of the reading too so you can see all the cards. So yeah, we have some major disappointment, right? Some major loss. I think it's for a lot of you, you're being asked to open up a new chapter in spite of this. That's what I think is really going on. You are being pushed even though you feel like you're not ready. But the fact of the matter is that you are ready. I don't know what happened, whatever heartbreak, sadness, cheating, deceit, whatever it was. How do we get to a point of letting go? How do you get to a point of letting go? What does that really even mean, to let go? It doesn't mean to not feel it. It doesn't mean to not acknowledge it. In fact, it means to feel it. It means to acknowledge it. But you don't have to give all of your awareness to it. Just like the woman is standing separate from the lion, she is the observer of that. She is the observer of the Three of Swords, the observer of the Five of Coins and the Five of Cups. She's just watching your body and your human experience, that's all. That's your superconscious up there, way up there, or wherever the heck it is, however many higher selves you have or whatever. It's up there and it's watching. That's how you let something go. You realize that it's not really who you are. Six of Cups comes out. I don't know why. I'm seeing this as the inner child. This month it's been come out just a couple of times, and I've seen it as the inner child. Like the little 1.5-year-old that really doesn't care, that gets naked and runs around and just genuinely doesn't care because they haven't been taught to care. Are you losing your caring? Caring of what people think, not caring of the people you love, but caring of what people think? I think yes. I think for a lot of you, yes, absolutely. And you're tapping into the act of service as well. What can I do to give, right? Because I often see this as someone giving to another person. But living in the moment, very important for you, Virgo. Learning how to do that. Not living in a fantasy world or a fantasy land. As a 12th house Virgo, I'm very prone to fantasy land. All right, Knight of Swords. Who are you dealing with? Is that Gemini? Are you dealing with a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Aries maybe even? Or is that just the Mercury retrograde coming and kicking your butt a little bit? Judgment card. And Two of Swords. First and foremost, if you really don't know what to do, first of all, I know you know what needs to be done. I know you know that you're not really at a crossroads. You're convincing yourself that you're at a crossroads because you're afraid of the outcome, but you're really not. See, the thing about this card is when your heart is pure and when your heart is in the right place, decisions almost cease to exist. Because the only question is it in line with my soul's purpose or not? If it's not, then it's not even a thing. If it is, then you go forward and that's it. You will have some kind of an awakening this month, I guarantee it. This Mercury retrograde is going to illumine something. Okay? Be prepared. It is a point of no return. I always say that with the Judgment card, because once you know that thing, once you see that person's true colors, once you have that thing come into your mind and you can't get it out of your mind, once it's there, it's there. There's nothing you can do about it. That is your higher self, right? Planting inspiration in your mind and planting ideas for the sole purpose of exploration. And I think you're going to feel very sure about how to proceed, whatever area, how to proceed, okay? And then we get the Knight of Swords here. And he's kind of rushing into the reading here. Let me put the camera down. I'll pull the cards for the comprehensive in just a second. Sorry, I know the camera angle's not the best, but you guys get the idea. I'll fix it for the comprehensive so you can see all of them. But yeah, here he is, running in to the reading, right? There's a dominant quality here. Your back is turned to him. Your back is turned to him. In a weird way, there's maybe a sense of obligation coming, right? Like you're dreading doing something. You're dreading the conversation or whatever it is. Maybe this is the person. I think you know what your soul is saying, but there is a very loud voice, whether from an external person or from your own self. There's a very loud voice that is trying to tell you what you should do. And that's a really dangerous place to be. Let's pull some more cards. Let's look at the Knight of Swords first, see what comes out for him. Okay, no more cards necessary. I think we get the vibe there. I don't like that person, whoever that is. All right, let's look at your card. Okay, beautiful. Two more came out. Okay. Yes, okay. So now let's look at Three of Swords. Okay, beautiful. Beautiful. Five of Cups. Where did you lose control, Virgo? Five of Coins. Well, okay. So many cards came out for that. I will take them all, okay? So many cards came out for the Five of Coins. There's a story there, for sure. Let's talk about the World card. The Moon and High Priestess reverse. Wow. And then the Eight of Swords. Okay. All right. I'm not going to talk too much about it. I think I underestimated the intensity of what you're going through, though. I think I underestimated the influence of this person and kind of the influence and the presence and their contribution to everything. Clearly, this person is a contributor, and I think it's the same person as this Emperor here. So we'll talk about it, okay? Thank you guys Thank you guys so much for being here, as always. I really appreciate you guys so much. I do have some like little things. I have a new channel that I started, which is kind of like a vlog, if you want to check that out. I have an Instagram account that I've been trying to be all professional on. If you want to follow me there, I try to do like little inspirational messages each day. And comprehensive and 2019 annuals are available as well. All right. Thank you guys so much. Take care.